Walsh. And guys, we are back. We're going to try and help out a lady here, and hopefully we're going to get some feedback, guys. Today it's about a woman who got humiliated on a date. She went on only a few days ago. And I even created a social media post only today, actually, about the story. So it's about plastic surgery and women. Do men like plastic surgery? Do we like the big lips? Do we like overinflated lips? Do we like the botox on the head? Do we like the big breasts? Do we like the big bum? Do we like the smaller breast? Do we like the smaller bum? What do we want? What is it that guys want? This poor woman, devastated, confused. She went on a date there. Here is the email she sent to me. So she was on a date with a guy, and she said he was average looking but middle-aged. Okay. But he called me out because he said she doesn't do lip fillers or Botox, and said that real women look after themselves by doing all these things in order to keep a man. I find this, she says she finds this a bit crazy. Are there any more men who would rather want women who get the Botox? Are there men who like women more natural? I know the likes of Botox gives women confidence, but each to their own. It's not for me. Thanks. So I posted that up, and to be fair, there's quite we're gonna have a look at some of the comments here now, actually, on TikTok, but we'll listen to what you guys are saying here on the live. But let's see what some of the comments have come in so far. I mean, there's one lady here saying, I mean, most men can't even tell when we've had a haircut. They've no idea you've had surgery. Well, that's fair enough. I'll give you that. That is, that can be for sure. Sometimes we can be so unobservant. Another lady said he's a Looney Tune. I'm gonna have to throw in and agree. It's just not on, man. Saying that to a woman. I mean, God, why would you go there? What are you gaining by saying that on a date? Is your ultimate goal here to sleep with this woman, and this is your way of, quote, charming the woman to get her into bed? Is this how you think it's going to work? Are you just going out on a night out to just piss someone off? I mean, I do genuinely believe that there is people out there that are so bored at home. And we're not speaking about everybody. There is people just sitting at home. They don't know what to do with themselves. And they'll just go on the date. They've no interest in the person. They'll just go on the date. They'll flirt. They'll give them hope, this or that. And that's it. And then there's some Looney Tunes like this poor lady had to deal with on the first date. The guy is saying, you know, you should be taking care of yourself. Why don't you have the Botox, the lip fillers? Give me a break. I mean, if there's any guys here watching, right, guys, jump in here, and I'll keep an eye on these comments, okay? But believe me, I won't be missing the comments. I'm going to scroll back up again, all right? So just please throw in a comment. I'd like to hear what you think. But especially from the guys here now, right? I mean, from me, for a guy, I used to live in LA, and I am definitely a man who likes the big fake chest on women, the boobs. I do also like the natural. I like both. Now, I do know there's some guys out there, they have zero interest in fake ones. And I understand. I mean, it's just not for everybody, right? What's like, there's no big deal here on that one. But there's plenty of guys out there that don't like it. That, you know, they don't feel, and I know the feedback. They don't feel real. There's no, ladies, don't shoot the messenger here, but I agree with them on this one. Sometimes you don't see a bounce, right, as the woman is walking, you know, like it just gives a more of a natural feel to it. And that's what guys like too. But then you get, I mean, where do you draw the line, right? I would be a fan of the fake ones, but you know something? If they're too big, I'm out. I'm done. No. Sorry, This ain't going any further. I am out. And it would be the same for natural breasts. If they're too big, no, not my thing. Then I know a load of guys who like very, very skinny, slim girls. They like almost flat breasts, right? Now, what is your version of skinny? That's anybody's opinion, and we won't even go there. But that's what guys say. Oh, I like the skinny girl. And there's a line. Where do you draw the limit with Botox? I mean, do you have to keep going until you can't even literally lift your forehead? Is this where we're going? I'm seeing girls here now in Cork City. And believe me, if anybody's not from Cork, and you're, let's say, even if you're out of the country, you're not in Ireland, we can be behind the times on certain things. For instance, like in LA, this was 15 years ago when I was over there, and plastic surgery was every second person I walked past. Whereas now, probably everybody has it. Now these days, now it's only really coming into Ireland. Like, it's not even at the amount that it was in LA 15 years ago, okay? 15 years ago. It wasn't even close. It's not even close to that level yet. And I know because I lived there. But it's starting to kick in. And some of it looks good, some of it doesn't. Same thing in LA. Some of it looks good, some of it doesn't. And believe me, LA is well, I think a lot of people know that, you know, the glitz and glam, quote, glitz and glam of Hollywood and all that. You got the plastic surgery everywhere. They're all doing it. But what about the people that have the duck lips? Like, I don't know any guys that like the duck lips. The lips are so big that you can't handle it anymore. It's not good. It's not good. And I'll keep an eye on some of these comments here now, guys. And, you know, some of this stuff, and it's incredible. But I'm just going to keep an eye on some of these messages here, guys. Sorry, one second. I just don't see the point of a guy belittling a woman. And look, hey, I'm a dude here now. I'm going to be standing up for men too. We're not all like that. Plus, we also got plenty of women that can be like that too. What are you doing? Wasting your time. Wasting your time. Are you really that empty to go out and do something like that? And then, like, you'll get 5 seconds of pleasure, and then you're back to your normal miserable ass self. Anyway, guys, maybe I'm getting a bit too deep. I've had a bit of a rough week around here. A very, very rough week. But, okay, I'm going to just check some of these comments. Michael, bro, do you remember how I told you before about my ex having a boy best friend? About my ex having a boy best friend? My ex texts me, oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael. Mike, how are you doing, my man? I hope you're still online. Ladies and gents, I only did a podcast on this only a few days ago. It's actually out on YouTube and Spotify. We did a live the other day. Michael, let me know here if there's an update, please. She wants another chance. Oh, my God. Well, Mike, what are you going to do? Is there any update here? Jeez, this is like part 2. What's going on? Good Lord. But let us know, Mike. So, guys, poor guy over here the other day, as we're recording live, I didn't know where the conversation's going to go, right? That's the kind of, I suppose, the nice, cool thing about these podcasts where God only knows what's going to come up. I mean, I was going to talk more about plastic surgery, but bang, somebody jumps in and this is something that we should find out about. So Michael had a girlfriend, and she has a best friend who's a guy. And the guy, he's met a few times, he was sound, he was a nice guy and all that, but he always put his attention on the girl, as in Michael's girlfriend. So the thing is, this guy, the best friend, I called bullshit on this when the best friend said, all guys hate him and he doesn't get on with guys. I've been here with this an ex-girlfriend. She never had any girly friends, and she used to always say women don't like her. And I know that what people get to, why are they saying this? Look at me, the victim. Then I asked Michael, right? I said, well, okay, if he's that much of an asshole, let's say, let's call him an asshole. If he's that much of an asshole, what do you think of him? And Michael actually said, actually, he's a nice guy. Like, he's nice, or, he's nice enough, sound enough, right? But he actually had a positive thing to say about the guy. Now, number one, if Michael had anything bad, right, or if anyone was going to have something a bit off about a guy, it's going to be Michael, because Michael's the boyfriend of the girl, right? So if anybody's going to have a problem, it would be him. But yet Michael has an open mind enough to know that, well, actually, no, it's okay. Everything's all right. He's open-minded enough to maybe the guy's nice. And he actually still said he's sound enough. Nice guy. Then at the end, Michael on the podcast breaks up with the girl, comes back on the live, says that he broke up with her, and we're all shocked out of our skin here, like, whoa, what the hell has just happened in the last hour? So then I'm getting confused. So the girlfriend he breaks up with, the best friend now, that guy, right, who, quote, everybody hates because he's the victim, he texts Michael and says, I'm going to take good care of your girlfriend. Wink. Enough said. Enough said. That just tells you a lot about the guy. Okay, so let's have a look there now. So Michael has given us an update here, guys, on the podcast. She wants another chance. Right. Well, you see, in these scenarios, I think women are more in touch with these type of scenarios than men, okay? You're like, look, hey, I'm not having a go off men. I am a man, for Christ's sake, right? So, if anything, I'm slating myself here, us men in general. But then again, women can have their weaknesses versus men, right? So it goes both ways. But I think women can read between the lines so much clearer and stronger than a man can in general. Not every man, not every woman, but women can read between the lines and a lot of stuff. So I think here what happened was she knows exactly that the best friend wasn't paying a lot of attention to the guy. And even that night, when this was happening last week, guys, when he broke up with her, that night, before he broke up with her, she was going to go meet the best friend for a coffee. So she wasn't spending time with him. Now, okay, that happens, right? But she's going to know that maybe my boyfriend is going to have a problem with this guy. Or he doesn't want him around. And that's fairly obvious. And it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out, right? And Riri, let's have a look. And, okay, we're catching up on some... Riri says, I don't know, what do you want? I know I'm not going under the knife unless absolutely necessary. Okay, we're going to keep... We'll come back to Michael there in just a moment, guys. We're catching up with some of the comments about surgery. I'm not going to go under the knife unless absolutely necessary. Well, that's fair enough. And, I mean, why would you? Jesus. Like, then again, it's so much pressure, I guess, from people these days. Or for people these days. You gotta get this. You gotta compete against Betsy, who lives down the road here. Is that what's going on for a lot of women? Definitely women are under more pressure than us men, that's for sure, when it comes to fashion and having to look your best. I don't envy women with these type of things, man. I just don't. Another lady has said, I would have thought most men prefer natural. Jeez, you see, I would have thought that most women would think men want the fake boobs, etc. But again, you see, this is the whole point. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what every guy wants. Not every guy wants the woman with the big bum. Not every guy wants the woman with the big boobs. Not every guy wants the big lips. Not every guy. Not every guy. And one woman says here, this is what the Kardashians have done to society. Yeah, it's become a fashion thing, hasn't it? It's incredible, man. It's incredible. Hillary, how much does that cost these days? Oh, you are definitely talking to the wrong person here. I have zero idea about plastic surgery costs. Zero. Hopefully somebody will answer your comment there. And Shez, the real story here is the red flags, telling a woman what to do with her body. Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely the underlying current here with this guy. You know, it's not good. It's not good. Controlling behavior, a red flag for abusive relationships. So anybody listening on the podcast, obviously, as you know, these are the live TikTok comments coming in. Interesting to get the good feedback. A guy, Connor here, I wouldn't be a fan personally of fake ones. Fair enough. There you go. Somebody's asking, what kind of chat is this? It's fucking all over the place, man. It's we're trying to... I don't even know what we're trying to talk about here. We're talking about plastic surgery on women, men, some men humiliating women about that they don't have plastic surgery. Quote, best friends of male and females trying to screw with somebody else's relationship. And is Michael on? Is he? Oh, I hope he's still on here. Michael, where are you, buddy? Are you still on? And I wonder. I was thinking actually no one would be on at 5 o'clock today, but I got a TikTok live ban, guys, for a week. That's why I haven't been on sooner. Simply because I was, quote, harassing and bullying people online. So, anyway. Riri, what did I miss? My daughter rang, she had an interview and got the job. We're just speaking about Michael still. Hopefully he's online. And I don't think he is, though. Unfortunately, he might have had to head off there. But apparently the girl wants him back. Well, I think this Michael guy, he's onto something here, guys. I think this guy knows exactly. He just needed confirmation on the deal by the live chat here last week. I think that's all he needs. Sometimes we just need that millimeter push, don't we? Do you know? And maybe your gut is screaming at you and your head screaming at you that we know the answer, but yet maybe you've had some bad experiences in the past. Relationships, career, God knows. Man, that's just kind of stopping us taking that gamble of just throwing ourselves in there maybe. And Riri, wow, there's a lot going on here. Yeah, there has been there for the last, I don't know, how long have we been going? 20 minutes? 17 minutes. But yeah, guys, it's, is that an Irish American accent? It's Irish accent, but I know. I have a twang. I don't know where it came from. And then there was another bad first date, guys. Here's the other one. Here is the other one. This poor woman, I mean, for me, this is the worst date I've ever heard in my life. Now, I'm sure there's but people have different opinions of the worst date in their life, but this is the worst I've heard. Lady hooks up with a guy, matches with a guy on Tinder, Bumble, Tinder. They're getting on great, they're chatting on WhatsApp, and they're getting on so good, the guy says, hey, you know what? Screw coffee, screw drinks, dinner on me, done. She goes, listen, great, let's do it. So they go for dinner. The customer service is very, very slow on that night. And look, I think we've all been there, right? So we can relate to that. And you're a bit pissed off. So he orders a plate of chips, French fries for anybody there in abroad. And they were the wrong ones. Apparently, I think, what was it? He got curly fries, but he wanted the normal straight chips or fries, whatever it was. Either way, it was wrong. But it was the same type of food anyway. So he's annoyed now. He doesn't want to actually get the waiter and waitress or whoever it was to bring the food back because, I could be waiting all day here. Understandable, right? You're like, oh, forget it. So he leaves the plate of chips and fries on the table. They're just sitting there. The girl says, well, can I have some? And he says, sure, go ahead. So she eats away and nibbling away. Dinner's getting quiet. And since that moment, he starts to get really, really odd. He's not upset. He's not pissed off. He's just odd as two left feet. So she said, all right, that it did cross her mind, this couldn't be about the chips, surely be to God. But she was thinking, maybe it fucking is, because he's just turned odd the moment I ask him for these. So anyway, long story short, the bill comes, the check comes, and the bill comes on the table. He says, I'm bringing you out for dinner on me, and then he actually wants her to contribute to the bill because she had some of the chips and the fries, right? So she's obviously been eating his stuff now. She then turns around and says, well, look, you weren't eating them, and you did ask me to come out, right? You said, look, dinner's on me. We won't go for coffees. We won't go for drinks. Dinner's on me. And anyway, long story short, she didn't tell me the full amount of story as far as I remember. And that was it. But for me, somebody saying Joey doesn't share food. Good point from friends. I mean, what the hell's wrong with them? Seriously. If you're going to be buying drinks on dinner, you're all in or you're not. And I have to say, I'm an old school type of guy. Well, I'll tell you this. If a girl did want to insist and offer on a night out that, Peter, please, I insist, allow me to at least buy whatever drinks, or let's go half. And if she was really fucking insistent before the date, I would say, Jesus, okay. But if I'm asking that girl out, I'm saying, no, please, it's on me. It's on me now. Of course, depends on the pushback. If she's pushing back like crazy, of course, you have to weigh it up and see what happens, right? And hopefully you can still pay for dinner on the night, but you don't want to insult someone either, because I know there's a lot of people, men and women, that can get odd these days that, you don't pay for this, I pay my way. And, it's people fear that you're controlling them if you pay for them, man or woman. So, I understand that part, a little bit, but I'd be old school here, guys. Guy asks you out on a date, you fucking pay, and that's it. And quite rightly, I actually love that she said it back to him, but you did say that you pay, dinner's on you, right? Now, you see, I've met a couple of stingy bastards, and from people who are so tight with their money, they try and save €1 or $1, but it's going to cost them $50 to do it. But that doesn't matter because they've saved that dollar. They fucking saved that dollar, man. And I know his mentality. I've tried to study these people. He thinks she's taking advantage of him now. And she knew, oh, well, hey, now I can get something extra out of this guy. But he's only thinking that because that's exactly the way he fucking thinks. He'd be trying to get something extra out of something. So it takes one to know one. And what's the big deal? It's a plate of fucking chips, man. It's a plate of chips. And the guy's bitching about fucking chips? Or no, even worse. No. Actually, that's kind of even worse, right? Because look, hey, I'm a big believer. If something's on your mind, it doesn't matter how crazy it is, how stupid it is, just get it off your chest. Now, look, I understand. I've even been there too, where you're kind of like, oh, Christ, look, will I even bring this up now? Again, it depends on who it is. But, I do believe that we should all definitely strive to go that way, right? And get it off your chest. Don't let it fester. Don't let it fucking build. Now, on a first date, okay, you let it go because you're maybe not see the person ever again. Fair enough. I understand that part. But I love the way this guy, he just gets odd and he bottles it up. Like him bottling it up. You can tell this guy, his fucking blood is boiling from this. I mean, what a sad, these people, sad losers. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And Jason here on the TikTok live, but did he get some? He certainly did not, and I'm delighted that he didn't, because I'm delighted for that woman that she's got away from this guy. But you know what? I even said that in a social media post today on TikTok, and I think it's a great thing. I've said this a lot of times before. I think it's an excellent thing when you do figure out what someone is truly like. The poor girl didn't waste countless months and months. I mean, what if he did end up paying for the dinner, okay? And the French fries came out perfectly the way he did. And he just gets weird about these whatever stupid things, right? What if everything went according to plan? But then 2 months from now, that fucking happens. I think God stepped in for her on that one. I have to admit. Whatever your religious beliefs, guys, but my religious belief, I do believe in God. And I do believe in those type of things sometimes. It's up to us, but hey, God can come in and go, no. Really, too many mind games played these days. It's scary out there. It is scary out there. It's scary out there. I've got a lot of miserable people. I'm sorry, not miserable as in they're just like horrible bad people. No, what I mean is as in there's a lot of people right now in mid-March. They're just miserable as in like they're down and out and they're depressed. Now, some of these people are living in Ireland, and if you're living in Ireland, you know as well as I do, this winter is just not fucking going away. If you are listening to the podcast from overseas or you're listening on TikTok Live, you are lucky if you're in a good climate. Count your lucky fucking stars, because I don't think we've seen a sunny, clear day for about, I'm gonna say, and anybody jumping on, listening on TikTok, let me know what you think here. Probably for about 2 weeks. And like, oh, now, what are we defining that? I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we had one night, because now our evenings are getting brighter here in Ireland. One night where it got bright at about, or stayed bright and got really bright then because the sun came out, blue sky, at about 6 o'clock for about an hour. And I think that's it. We have not seen the sun. I would honestly reckon you could count on your hand, on one hand, maybe the two, that we've seen the sun for a full day in the last 3 months in Ireland. And I'm not joking you. And by the way, I'm saying this on a live TikTok and podcast, so I'm not trying to BS anybody here. Please let me know today, guys, what you think on that one. Somebody on TikTok, clear day today in Marley Park in Dublin. Okay, well, hey, fair enough. I'm in Cork, so maybe it's just all my walls are caving in on me. I actually assumed it was the whole country, so there you go. Yeah, I'm wrong. But in Cork City, that's for sure, it has just been unfucking believable. A lot of depressed people, and we're missing out on vitamin D here, you know? Like, we need actual, like, it's good to take a multivitamin, and I even actually, speaking of that, I did a podcast today on the benefits of vitamin D, and like, we are really, really struggling with vitamin D down in here in Cork. We're lacking vitamins from the natural fucking sun. Even if we had the sun come out for a half a day, that would be okay. It'd be a start anyway. And I know when the sun's out because I like to go for a walk around my city and I'll have my glasses on. And I've only taken out my glasses twice this year. I've only taken out my glasses twice since November. That's the truth. Unbelievable. Somebody here from Cheltenham. Oh, that's interesting. You're in Cheltenham there. Are you? Isn't Cheltenham the race course? Isn't that the racing on this week? Raining there in Cheltenham. Hey, well, there's a surprise. Raining. That's all we see down in Cork at the moment. Oh, Lord. But guys, okay. This is actually a pre-recording. This will be coming out on just after Patrick's Day. So if you are listening to this podcast just after Patrick's Day, if you're listening on live here, I hope you had a good one. And get out there, even if you haven't met someone, if you'd like to meet somebody on Patrick's weekend, the bank holiday here in Ireland, don't worry about it. There is time. People will cheer up to when the sun comes out for the fucking summer here. I don't know how good it's going to be for Ireland, or any other country, city, but people will be in a better mood. And if you've been in Cork City around this area, or if you've had just rain all the time, or not even just rain, dull, grey, horrible skies all winter, things will get easier. It will. So guys, listen, I want to thank you for all, love you all, appreciate it, for jumping on the podcast, the live TikTok today. And we'll be back, of course, with my podcast. It's the Peter Walsh Show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all the rest. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be back. Cheers. Peter Walsh.